a crossbar! And it doesn't go in! Up like a salmon, a spawning salmon!
Oh, 30-1. I don't see you or Robbie on it.
You love rainbows and ponds and things like that. The morning mist. That's what it sounds like, Speedy.
You're listening to Breakfast on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
Well, it's not 8 o'clock right now. In the words of our forlorn friend who has left us.
He's not forlorn, we're forlorn.
Yeah, we are. Early mornings right now.
Not
It's 8:08.
Not as early morning as we'd want it to be.
It's 8:08.
But we decided to have some fun before the show. But it didn't.
Didn't really pan out that way. And
There was fun, but not as much end result as we wanted.
Just a masterful bit of paddling this morning by Nick DeBono.
It's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Mixed something specially, managed to ruin the surprise completely before the show.
Hey, I
even
didn't
started.
even. It played for like 2 seconds.
I still don't even know what the surprise is.
Okay, yeah, Ed doesn't know.
That's good.
I don't know much.
I barely understood the surprise as well just yet. It's too early for me to register these sort of things.
Too early. You've got a new jumper on.
No, I've had this jumper for like
Have
3 years.
It's in good nick.
Oh, not really. It's a bit of a. Had to be sewn up because my cat got to it.
Did you? Who set it up for you?
My mum.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Cute.
nice. Anyways,
Very cute.
breakfast on F&R here on a Friday. It's the delayed peanuts. It's the peanuts.
The delayed peanuts.
The delayed peanuts here on a Friday. Nick DeBano, Ed Gooden, and Josh Parrish. Plenty to get to today. Plenty of action happening all around the world in the world of football for our football admin, and also lots to look forward to in NPL, in the A-League. It's a big weekend, Derby weekend actually.
Europa League action this morning, Nick.
Yeah, there was Europa League action. We don't care about the Europa League
No,
right now.
but we can jump into some football admin straight away and just talk about
I
the
know
fact
Josh
that
has given me a look. He's like, yeah, I
that-
know, I'm a Manchester United supporter, and I want to make sure we're talking about Manchester.
Manchester United did beat Granada 2-0.
Yeah.
Arsenal beat Slavia Prague
4-0.
4-0.
Do you know what Lockie said last week? Because he was on the Friday show after Arsenal drew with Slavia Prague. He's like, we're losing in Prague.
Oh,
And he's like, I've lost all faith
that sounds like a nice romantic song. We're losing in Prague. We're losing our senses because we're falling
Sounds
in love
like a
with each
romantic comedy in Prague.
When in Rome.
Yeah, we're starring Amelia Clarke and
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
Lovely combination.
Well, we think rom-com, all right?
Yeah,
Male, female, Amelia Clarke, Channing Tatum. That's literally all it is.
Well, if we are talking about Rome and when being in Rome,
They won.
they won. They beat the Dutch,
The Dutch.
the Ajax, and they picked up a 1-1 draw.
This might be a
which
bit of
was
this might be a bit of an obscure reference, but do you mean Francis?
Francis the Dutch.
Ajax. Have you seen Deadpool?
It's in the first one.
Yeah. Do you remember? He calls himself Ajax, and
Not
he's
a very
like,
memorable movie. Fun in the moment, but not quite.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Maybe
Anyways,
let's ask the
move on.
listeners. 9944
I'm sure our
What's
guy.
fun in the moment, but you regret afterwards?
Well, tell us in the Twitch.tv/Football Nation Radio. Is everyone back, Ed?
In the Twitch?
Yeah.
Well, we've got Mooks already coming through saying, anyone else feel like the world feels duller without the great Athos? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
never
he's-
mind that he was
he's
never
only-
on Friday mornings anyway.
Yeah, he's only 2
Yeah.
hours away. He's in
All right.
he's in Arrow.
All right.
Aussie Hez saying not the same. Thanks, Aussie Hez. But then he also says, yeah, Arsenal. So he's moved on pretty quick.
Yeah, that's a quick coming to terms
And there
with the
was
stages of grief.
And one more Europa League game. Villarreal.
Villarreal
Yeah.
beat Dinamo Zagreb 2-1. Mislav Orsic scored in that game, but couldn't
Again.
drag them through after his hat-trick heroics
So
against
United
Tottenham.
versus Roma in the semis.
No, this is the interesting part for me. This is a waking nightmare for Arsenal now because either they're going to lose to Unai Emery's Villarreal in the semi-final,
true.
or they're going to lose to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United.
Whoa.
That's a bit-
Are you discounting the Gladiators? The Romans. The Romans. Yeah, I'll tell you, if they
I
win
am,
the Europa
actually.
League, I want Paulo Fonseca to yet again dress up as Zorro for the post-match press conference like he did when he was at Shakhtar. There was
Why
a
would you
game
do that
when
at
he did that.
Shakhtar?
There was
What's
like a
the
bet.
reference
I
there?
forgot what the actual bet was. I might need to quickly search it up, but it was like a bet if they win. I think they beat quite a big side. So he dressed up as Zorro at the post-match press conference.
Overrated or underrated movie?
Zorro. To be
The
honest, I've
Legend of
actually
Zorro.
never watched the whole movie.
Oh, well,
It's always on TV, but I've never...
so that could be one of two things. You've started watching it, had high expectations, thought this is no good. Or then you started watching it with such low expectations, you thought, whoa, I have to watch this with all my friends. So then you stopped.
No.
And then you have to go again.
I saw it on TV as the many times that I have, and that's been on TV. Just like you flick, Zorro's on, and you turn it on for 20 minutes. Like, this actually isn't that good.
You know what I
And
never
turn it
do?
off.
And my girlfriend's mum loves this, like a lot of Australian people. It's just flicking through TV and just happening upon something.
Yeah.
The days of, we're not panning for gold anymore. You can go to the shop and buy some. We live in a modern
Or you
world
can
where
subscribe for a
we live in a
indeterminate amount of
society.
gold
you
per
can,
month.
You can pay $10 to get your gold. You don't have to see a Harvey Norman ad in between golding sessions.
So here was this. I've actually found the context of the Zorro Paulo Fonseca joke. He said if they make the round of 16 of the Champions League, he'll dress up as Zorro. Because they asked him at a press conference
That's
once,
very low.
who's your favourite vigilante, superhero sort of thing? He said Zorro. So he said if they make the round of 16, I'll dress up as Zorro. They made the round of 16, so he dressed up as Zorro.
Who owns the rights for Zorro?
That's a good question.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas is Zorro in an everyday
He
life.
bought them for a nickel.
I mean, there is a little bit of a resemblance there.
Yeah, he could be Zorro. He looks
He's got a very strong hairline, Paulo
Wish
Fonseca.
version of Zorro.
So the creator of Zorro,
Yeah.
Johnston McCulley, who really takes away the romanticism of this. Is he Spanish?
Zorro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's maybe a guy called John McCulley. Zorro is in the public domain in all countries adhering to the Berne Treaty, minimum of life of author plus 50 years of death. So apparently it's public domain.
It's kosher.
So Nick DeBarno, I know you've been trying to do this for years and years and years, but your facial hair will not be copyright striked by anyone.
No.
Other than Jamie
Even though-
McLaren.
And I pay this
Yeah.
as a compliment to you, you handsome, handsome man.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Thank you. You sound like all those those relatives when you go to a function and then they all say to your mum, "Oh, your boy is so
Do you call it a function when it's with your relatives?
What kind of function are you going to?
The
with your-
DeBarno's in business.
The Barno's in business.
That sounds
luncheon.
like a mafia luncheon, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Your mum's saying to you, you coming to the function tomorrow morning? And you're like, what's going on? It's like, it's just breakfast.
It's just family.
Yeah, it's just cornflakes.
Probably didn't word that one right. Aussie Hez said
Also-
I need to dress as Zorro. Well, potentially down the track. Potentially that could be part of our future.
If
Our
Roma
future show.
win the Europa League, Nick dresses as
all
Zorro
right.
on a
If
show.
Roma wins the Europa League, you see this. The hands are actually cut off on the Twitch, so I'm going to
that's
come into
fine.
your camera.
Come in.
Yeah. Well, this is breaking the fourth wall.
Shake.
There you go. So the bond is there that if
Should we-
Roma wins the Europa League, then I
Should-
will dress up as Zorro.
Is
on
there
it.
a element of you've got all to lose but nothing to win here?
What do you mean?
Would you like something in return? A return bet?
Okay.
I'll say if Arsenal win.
If Arsenal wins, you need to dress up as Unai Emery. Black hair and everything. Dye your hair
Oh.
black, everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dye his hair black.
That's
What
if
about
Arsenal-
a wig? A wig?
A wig, all right. Make it a wig. If Arsenal wins, you need to dress up as Unai Emery. Come in here with a blackboard.
If Arsenal win, if they win,
win the Europa League.
okay, I will.
The chances of Arsenal
I
and
will do
Roma
that.
winning it are probably
Pretty low.
I mean,
kinda.
Mikel Arteta has always reminded me of a Lego character.
Yes.
He does look like a
It
Lego
looks like
man.
his hair is painted on.
He looks like he's a Spanish Jonathan Brown when it comes to his hairline.
Oh, his hair. I was
It's
going to
just
say
dead
the
straight.
personalities are not the same. Jonathan Brown has had a lot of concussions.
What do you mean? You haven't seen Mikel Arteta's 2004 highlights of Port Adelaide Grand Final taking a chef mark sliding on the ground?
Mikel Arteta, 164 possessions,
164 disposals.
all backwards and sideways.
Taking the mark of the year in 2002.
Did he say? Oh yeah, what do you?
Three-time premiership player Jonathan Brown joining us. Lions champion.
Mikel Arteta.
They look nothing alike. Mikel Arteta is like a hand. Not to say Jonathan Brown's good looking,
Hello, my name is Mikel Arteta.
but Jonathan Brown is like if
you
you,
see-
I thought you were going to go the
It's
other
me
way
with
with that.
Chrissy Sam on the Chrissy Sam and Mikel show in the mornings on a rival radio
look, I actually
station.
really like Jonathan Brown.
He is apparently the loveliest guy in
Yeah.
the world.
But
Nicest.
I
dude
just
ever.
don't see him and Mikel Arteta in the same sentence.
It's just the hairline.
I think we should talk a little bit about the Champions League as well, because we didn't have breakfast on Wednesday and Thursday
No.
this week. So
Liverpool
there's
are
been
out.
Very little chat.
Yeah, this is all news to me. Whatever we hear here will be.
Ed actually gets the football results broken to him
Yeah.
while hosting
No,
the show.
I'm the test, right? You have it's actually ratings week at the moment in the radio, so they count the ratings. You don't have to count the ratings here. If I react well, then the ratings must be good because I'm basically a listener.
Look, these results, like the 4 teams that are left, like the most uninspiring 4 teams possible.
I mean, it's the
PSG.
sports washing semi-finals, isn't it?
Yeah.
PSG, Chelsea, Madrid.
And Man City.
It's basically Madrid looking at themselves and saying, "Are we the goodies?"
Are we the good guys now? I mean,
It's an unfamiliar situation for Real Madrid.
I think Chelsea are kind of the good guys.
Oh, come on. They're owned by
No.
Roman Abramovich.
Yeah, but he's been in the game long enough now where it's like, okay, surely this guy is...
time
I mean,
heals all
the
wounds.
team that
Yeah.
everyone, I think,
including
was,
the blood of the Russian peasantry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think, she's all right. I think the teams everyone was rooting for in Porto and Dortmund, you know, I was a bit disappointed to see them not go through. I mean, I was excited when I woke up yesterday and saw that Jude Bellingham had put Dortmund ahead, and I thought,
Here we go.
Dortmund are going to do this. But then Phil Foden said, oh no,
Oh,
I am
no.
the Stockport Iniesta.
Phil Foden's probably a better Jonathan Brown lookalike than Mikel Arteta.
19-year-old.
The dead straight hairline, though.
I mean,
Look at the man.
No, but look at his fade on the side. Jonathan Brown would say, none of that fancy pants.
Jonathan,
He's the Jonathan Brown of the TikTok generation.
he's the Jonathan Brown of what's Manchester's like. It's not Mercy. The Merseyside's Liverpool. What's Manchester's like name? You know, it's like how Liverpool's on
North.
Merseyside. The North.
I don't know. I think it's...
Do they like from an area? Because you know, like Aston Villa and West Brom are from
Mancunian.
like Midlands and
Yeah. Well, no, that's just what you are.
it's like,
Mancunian.
are they in Lancashire?
No, that's Blackburn.
Also,
That's also Wigan Athletic.
We'll have to ask a Pom.
Lanco Group Shire.
Are you happy, Tony?
That's branding right there. Jude Bellingham, though, 17 years of age, he just has this like strut about him.
Yeah, he does.
He
He's
just
a bit of a
bosses
baller.
games. I've never seen a player that young with that much confidence.
Oh, Pato was 17 and doing that.
Mary Fowler?
Yeah, but then his hamstrings exploded like
Yeah.
moments later. So it was fleeting. With
It was
Alex Pato.
it was like a Red Bull with Pato. It was a real quick because he was very very fast man. It's like he just had a Red Bull, but his hamstrings went too quickly.
He was a fast man, but if you looked at him now, you wouldn't think that he was a fast man.
No, well, he plays in the MLS for Orlando, so he's hanging out with Cole Anthony and
Markel Fultz.
Wendell Carter Jr. and Michael Carter Williams as part of
I like
the what ifs. Him and Michael
Yep.
Carter Williams can be part of that
MCW.
part of that group, and also with he's playing with Nani at Orlando City. He put
Lovely.
a photo on his Instagram the other day of him and Nani getting a massage.
Oh, of course he needs a massage.
Well, I mean, those hamstrings need to be put
My
into
hamstrings. No.
Yeah, those
Danny, your
hamstrings.
hamstrings
That's
sore,
your like
mate.
universal foreign accent, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
so
I
my-
swear you use that for everything. You need
This
to,
is
you need
my
to vary
impre-
up your octanes.
This is my impression of Athos Sirianis in the morning. Hello.
This is my
He's 7
impersonation of
minutes
Athos
past
in the
8.
morning. Hey, it's
Hey.
18 past 8.
Tom has come through in the chat and saying that Chilwell's goal reminded him of Torres in 2012.
Yeah, nice.
He said, plus we played a big Portuguese team in the quarters in 2012, big Spanish club in the semis. As hopeful as I am, think PSG might have it.
Oh, Tom's a Chelsea supporter.
Well,
really?
I think Chelsea have a really good chance to make the final. I'm not really impressed with Madrid at
So
all.
they might not even make top 4 and win the Champions League
Well,
again.
that's happened
Not even gonna
before.
win the
History
Champions
repeating
League.
itself, as
Sacked their
Tom is
coach
pointing out.
mid-year, brought in a new coach.
Oh,
I mean, they
man.
brought Di Matteo in that year. They sacked Villas Boas this season. Sacked
Groundhog
Lampard.
Day.
Brought in a double T, TT,
the TT.
T squared.
I think there are reasons
TikTok.
why they're going to beat Real Madrid. I think this is a justifiable opinion, is it not? You know,
Yeah.
Liverpool just
Liverpool-
Liverpool didn't press Liverpool
And
Madrid.
they lost.
Sad club.
And it's great.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
I'm okay with it. Sure.
very funny and quite disheartening the way in which Madrid kind
You know
of
what is-
swatted them aside.
You know what is so bad for the brand is that 4 of the 8 semi-finalists in the 2 European competitions are English teams, and there's only one Italian team, and the Italian
upsetting,
team is
isn't
it?
going to be the only one that wins the
Well,
whole thing.
this was meant to be the Italians' year, wasn't it, in the Champions League?
Not
Your
really.
expectations were high.
Not really, actually. Inter never do well in the Champions League. Juventus are crap, and Atalanta, well, they just ran into Real Madrid and they were a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
And Lazio played Bayern Munich. So, I mean, next season when Milan are back in the are in the Champions League, then they'll win it because they're the team that always do well in the Champions League. Not they'll win it, but they'll do well.
Yeah. Now, Nick, today is not the first day of a new show, but we're moving into the territory of a new show, aren't we? With Athos
Potentially.
departing.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
We won't spoil anything, but we might want to run through a little trial of a couple segments.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
everyone knows that we have
Sardines
a-
back.
Sardines bloody back.
so are we.
Thank God.
He said F&R are back. You're back, Sardine.
You're back, Sardine. A little bit late, but that's all good. Everyone knows that workplaces have pretty fire group chats.
Group chats, yeah.
Yeah, we know that Sydney FC has a fire group chat.
As Mackenzie Hawkesby told us last week, they made a meme of Claire Wheeler in a wheelbarrow.
In a wheelbarrow. Now, that is considered, I think, a group chat dub.
That's a massive dub.
It's a massive dub.
That
right?
would be getting at least 4 laugh reacts, that one.
Many, many, many.
I reckon Teresa Polias thumbs up reacted and said, kids. It's like in
Guys.
primary school, like guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
They made the meme past 10 p.m. They're like, I'm cutting off your internet.
She does have a bit of a kindergarten teacher vibe.
She is.
Teresa Polias, the kindergarten cop.
Was she she was the teacher.
She was the teacher.
Yeah, she's a teacher.
was the
Oh, that makes sense,
Yeah.
actually. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we asked Mackenzie if there were any training session situations where
have
some
to
of the
do the
younger
clap.
players were messing around.
And she did the...
Yeah, she did the clap. So what we're going to explore as a segment on the new show is group chat dubs
And group chat.
and group chat L's. Do we have a little song?
I'm trying to play it, but you stuffed up the panel. So I'm trying to... There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
not again.
So this is
This is
our...
definitely going to air, right?
Yeah.
The music?
Yeah, it's going
So.
to.
So we're calling this the dub or the L in the group chat. So
Yeah.
Ed, do you have an L in the group chat this week? Or
Well-
Josh, do you have an L that you can think of in
Yeah.
our group chat this week?
Goodness, you didn't leave me time to prepare
Well, I
for
think
this
what
one.
we're going to do is we're going to get more specific as we hone the segment in. But I've just got a general L, and Athos is one who takes this frequently. He loves taking this. He always treats the FNR fun group chat as the
work group
chat. So someone will post a meme or something, and he'll write back, haha, love it, with an exclamation mark. Or he'll go, no worries, exclamation mark.
And then he'll reply with, hey, Josh, could you schedule the Western United best of at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday?
That's
Save that.
because he's a 55-year-old man.
He is a 55-year-old man. He's an older gentleman.
He's an older man.
He was
Did
wearing
you see his hat yesterday?
He was wearing his farewell hat at the lunch, the farewell Athos lunch that he was late for, and one of our good directors commented on the fact that it's like a 1930s vibe. You don't get that very often, do you?
1920s if you watch the Peaky Blinders.
Exactly.
1910s if you watch Peaky Blinders. That's after World War One.
What else is there where you
takes
go,
it out.
oh, that's 1930s vibes? There's no other items of clothing, are there?
No, unless
No.
you're wearing with it like a huge trench coat with like those shirts that have like the collars that sort of like sit there.
Almost the
Or like
minister.
a post-depression burlap sack.
Yeah, I mean, true. Or if you're wearing like those vests, those vests that go with it and they're sort of pinstriped and.
We're yet to take on the burlap sacks here at FNR.
Yeah.
Things aren't getting that tight.
Or the jackets, like those trench coats that they have like the coattails that go like right down, but they like come like this.
Yes.
So they're not like sort of straight line, but they like come down like
A little
that.
penguin booty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mooks is saying that the Saints fan talking smack in his group chat are all taking
Well, the
Ls.
Saints fan in my group chat separately is also taking a big L at the
Oh,
moment.
Chris
Mr. Christopher.
Chris Neese.
Be a sad day down at Moorabbin today. But yes, I mean, other L's in the group chat that I can think of.
Just general ones.
I mean, whenever Reese gets stressed,
Yeah, he does. He does freak out a little bit.
he freaked out a bit at lunch yesterday.
What was he freaking out about at lunch? He wasn't at the
A
lunch.
top secret move here at FNR.
Oh, but he wasn't. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, this maybe brings up another question of just group chat dynamics. Now, we have a new member of FNR.
Yep.
Which is the wonderful Pakua.
Pakua Frimpong.
And, I mean, this is an interesting discussion to have on air, but is it time?
Has she, I think she's had her induction.
I think she's
I
had
think
her
she might
induction.
be ready.
Is it time?
Yeah. To what?
Pakua, if you're in the chat,
Say hello.
we're going to add you to the group chat. Not that we actively haven't added you to the group chat, but
You have to go through induction.
yeah, you went through induction.
Well, if she immediately leaves
We
the
hope-
station, I think our listeners will know why.
I mean, the
Yeah.
other L in the group chat the other L that I can think of is Lockie's choice in where he went on Wednesday before he met up with us.
went to the comics lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Arrived
Oh,
late.
yes.
Yes.
And the person that he saw.
I mean, nothing
no.
against him.
Something
But-
against him is the fact that he's not funny. If you went
Say
into
it how it is.
So if he's a say Mooks, if he's a Rebel Sport employee, you go into the Rebel Sport and you say, "Hey, mate, could I buy a Barcelona shirt, please?" And he comes back with a pair of hemp trousers. You're going to say, "Mate, you're not doing a great job." Same
Fair
thing goes
enough,
for comedians. They don't make you laugh. Bad job.
We had Sardine just come through in the group chat just quickly. He says he wants to just ask a question on a different subject. Yeah. Did I see Ed score a penalty against MacArthur on Wednesday night? So that's Craig Goodwin. Do we have our next FNR lookalike in Craig Goodwin?
Oh,
and
that's
Ed
actually
Gooden?
not bad.
I mean, if you didn't wear your glasses,
If Craig Goodwin was 7.5 feet tall,
oh
I
my
actually
God.
need
We have
to-
one hell of a front line being formed here right now. And Josh kind of looks like Ben Halloran. So with his beard, like
The
Ben
Marxist professor.
Halloran on the right, Craig Goodwin on the left, Jamie McLaren through the middle.
Need to remind
This
myself
could be
what-
this could be the Socceroos front line.
I think, judging by Melbourne City's recruitment patterns, it will be Melbourne City's recruitment. It will be Melbourne City's front line in 3 years.
This almost looks like
Potentially.
a merge of me and Josh.
Oh, that is
true.
You know who does
true.
look like me?
So you're saying if Josh and Ed merge, you become a Craig, like a Craig.
I've been meaning to tell you this, Ed, but Craig is actually our son.
oh,
Yeah. You're the father.
that I do remember there being a rough 9 months
I
somewhere.
am your father.
Apparently, this looks like me.
Oh, the guy from Dark.
Yeah, Jonas from Dark.
Apparently, it's a very good show.
That is an extremely
Not
good
It's a
show.
bit complicated.
It is absolute.
Mind
Yeah.
F.
Yes.
If you don't have the
Mind
subtitles
blank.
on, it becomes even more complicated.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a German show.
In the Deutsch.
El Deutsch.
Oh my God.
Do they have a dubbed version where you watch it and
yes.
it's really bad when you watch it
That's
dubbed?
the default option when you bring it up on Netflix, and you have to
serious?
manually change it to the original.
Because
German.
that's like
the American dubbing over the top is
terrible.
so bad.
that's like watching.
my God.
Have you guys watched Money Heist?
No.
Yep.
Money Heist,
A
the
little
same
bit.
thing with the English dub is terrible. So you actually
That's a-
have to watch
that's
it
a
in
shocker.
Spanish. Like in
Yeah,
Spanish,
but you pick up little Spanish things
because
here
there's
or there.
like Berlin.
You're like,
Denver.
El
Whenever because there's a
Miguel.
character called Denver, but now every time I hear Denver, they say Denver. And now
Denver.
whenever I hear like the Denver Nuggets, I say the Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets.
Nikola Jokic plays for the Denver Nuggets.
I
With
think
Jamal Murray.
the
Jamal,
dub in the
one
group
knee
chat
Murray.
this week for me.
Ball, ball.
What made me
Ball,
laugh
ball.
was Lockie reposting the infamous moment where on If You Know Your History, Paul
Yes.
Matthews was interrupted by the
Yes.
Socceroos
God,
scoring a
that
goal.
Yes. Now, for context, for those that don't know,
Can we find it?
This
If
is
you-
the dub. I have to log into Facebook. I forgot my password, so if anyone else can do that. In terms of what happened was, so this was in 2019. So this is about a year and a half ago now. Think about how it feels like yesterday, but
Time has flown by.
it was the last time the Socceroos actually played, and it's been over a year and a half. So it's been a long time. If you know your history, which is here, 6 p.m. on a Thursday night, but I think it was at a different time. I think it was maybe at like 7 at the time.
It used to be 7, yeah.
They were playing during, I think, the Socceroos game against, like, was it Chinese Taipei or Jordan?
It was
Or Nepal?
Nepal.
Nepal, sorry. The Nepalese?
That was the night I found out that Nepal is pronounced Nepal, thanks to Simon Hill.
And so what
Yeah.
happened was Jamie McLaren scored,
Well done.
and during the show, we had a certain someone yelling in the ear of Lockie Flanagan to play this Socceroos sting that they'd cut.
Play the sting.
And he was telling him, play the sting, play the sting, play the sting, during a monologue by Paul Mavrudis about Green Gully's history. Now, as Paul Mavrudis is going through the monologue, you just start hearing, yes! The famous the Simon Hill commentary of John Aloisi's penalty. And there's
The
this
reaction
awkward
was
silence.
icy,
I
I would
just
say.
love the fact that it's just so much louder.
But it's so much better watching it on the actual live stream.
Tell you what,
If
we'll-
you go on Facebook and find the clip of Paul Mavrudis
I'll-
and Ian's reaction, Ian absolutely losing it.
I will
like,
log in
laughter.
during the break. I will log into my Facebook on that computer, and we'll find it. We'll play it.
Okay.
It's pretty funny.
I mean,
Honestly, I was quite worried in the immediate aftermath of that show that Paul Mavrudis was going to quit the station.
Yep.
That was
potentially
he was not best pleased. It was very rude.
Look,
In
Josh,
fairness, it was extremely
yeah,
rude.
it was.
If we're doing a Green Gully segment, soccer is, as we'll hear Paul say, it doesn't really have anything to do with Green
No,
Gully.
it
Does it?
has nothing to do with Green Gully, who are playing against Dandenong City tonight, and I will be commentating their
Oh,
game.
you will?
at
Bit of a
Who will?
cheeky plug.
Frank Holohan Soccer Complex with Joey Lynch.
Now,
The Dream Team
let's
reunites.
just say about the perfect synchronization between you and Joey last Friday with that goal, right?
Pretty great.
Great goal. But the fact that you guys timed each pause perfectly by coincidence was bloody amazing. It was like, oh, what a hit. No! It's just hit, like,
We were
Joey-
just going backwards and
like,
forwards.
oh my
wasn't it?
God, no! It was just
His
perfect.
Magbiambo.
It was so, like, it was just hilarious. Just the whole, like, it was a great goal, great call, but just how it was like, Josh goes, what a hit. And then you hear, no. It's just like, Josh goes, unbelievable, Barasevic. Like, it's just unbelievable. Usually,
Yeah.
like when you commentated the Valentini strike, you heard you like quietly in the background go, "Oh my god!"
I was
Yeah.
freaking out. But there was zero overlap.
Yeah.
Nothing.
This was just like, I don't know, there was some some telepathy between you two.
Do you want me to play the goal on the stream?
Yes.
It can be arranged in short order.
I mean, we can.
Should we go to a break and then
Let's
do
go
it?
to a break. Josh, you tease
Before we go
something.
to a break,
Yeah,
before we go to a break, and this can be our break, I feel like we need a bit of a refresher on the audio that we rotate here. We have these things called station IDs, which are usually a bit of like famous commentary set to some music. Usually they're not that intensive. Usually they go for about 30 seconds. But we've been rotating the same ones for quite a while. Gary Neville, Dennis Burkamp, etc., and so on.
Roberto
And I
Martinez.
felt like we needed
new ones.
something special just to mix it up a little bit. And I haven't done this kind of compilation since I made the Johnny Warren one like 2 years ago now, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So I decided to think about my footballing heroes and who I feel deserves to be commemorated in at the station and in football history. And so I've compiled the best of a man that I believe you also admire, Nick.
Which, for some people, have some associations with glorious times past, etc. For that short period at the Stadium of Light when everything was going really well. My personal instinct is new start, fresh beginnings, new sound. Can someone challenge me on that? The club was paying £7 million interest a year. It was on track to being the first large club ever to go properly bust. It is a failed, f***ed up business. And unless you guys understand that, you'll never make it in this world. This was 100% f***ed. The problem is that I've inherited a fragmented, disillusioned, disunited team, which has been leaderless for quite a while now. So they need to see me doing things. They need to understand and see what good looks like. And when you put pressure on people in Marcoms, you start to see those who've got it and those who don't. This is my way of saying to you, wake up call. Stuff we got to do. This business sure as hell can't afford to carry people. No, Sophie, no, sorry. We get it, and if we're 200 out, it doesn't matter. So us. We cannot string and get matched together. Wake up!
Sweetheart, you have to calm down.
There's too much resting on this. Change it! This is how I do it when I was a DJ. Is you've got to try and build people up, and you've got to try and get the atmosphere building through a track. If you try and think about the atmosphere that Chris and I agree that we're trying to create, we want it to be rocking in there, and a little bit mad, a little bit like people, Sunderland fans take pride in the fact this place is going to be a bit noisier, a bit more in your face.
Whether you're a land developer, in local government, or a service authority, Lenco Group will help you get your job done on time and in a cost-effective manner. Lenco Group provides superior civil engineering and advisory services by creating, communicating and delivering sustainable, efficient solutions. For all your infrastructure requirements associated with residential, commercial or industrial development projects, visit our website lencogroup.com.au or give us a call today on 1300 152 626.
Off the crossbar! And it doesn't go in! Up like a salmon, a spawning salmon!
Oh, 30-1. I don't see you or Robbie on it.
You love rainbows and ponds and things like that. The morning mist. It's what it sounds like, Speedy.
You're listening to Breakfast on FNR, Football Nation Radio.
37 past 8.
Wow. It is 37 past 8.
It is 37 past
There's
8.
a certain gusto that Athos has to it, where the music's just a little bit too loud. His
He's
voice
like,
is
37 past 8.
just a little bit too soft. And then you can always tell where the show starts because there's massive amounts of clipping.
Absolutely. Checking in the Twitch before we get to our next little bit that we want to throw to. Mooks has said Joey and Josh for the Stan Sport League commentary. Well, hopefully if that gets confirmed,
A-League commentary, not league commentary.
League.
They don't have league. They've only got
popping
union, Nick. They don't have league.
That would
Mooks
be-
has also said, anyone else think if Nick gets a man bun, there's an Aussie Zlatan at FNR as well? Well, Nick is... No, the man bun. I'm trying to do my best.
I
Zlatan.
only talk football.
No.
Nothing
That was shocking. Ian.
Nick,
You need
Absolutely
to
shocking.
shut up and dribble.
FNR, I do not come to FNR. FNR comes to me.
Comes to me. I am the
I
lion.
am FNR.
I am a lion.
I am a lion.
I'm a lion.
Anyways, we promised before the break we would find the moment where Lockie almost
Almost
I guess
ended, if you know
ended
your
up-
history.
ended up-
with one press of a button.
ended the best show on FNR on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
By probably the most informative, the most knowledgeable. I guess if you're a football nut and you want to know about history, this is it. It's called If You Know Your History, and I mean, absolutely.
Hit it.
We've been able to find it because Lockie actually sent it in our group chat last night. So
a W.
This is a group
It's a
chat
group
dub,
chat
by the
dub.
way. So here it is. Lockie almost ending If You Know Your History.
To become one of the most powerful clubs in Victorian soccer in the late 70s and early 80s. Now, it helps that, the big four at the time had left and, joined up the NSL, but still you had to fight against Melbourne, Croatia, Preston Macedonia. So, very wealthy, well-supported clubs. And this... Talking about, a club developing from very small, very humble roots.
Can we just interrupt and say what happened there? I think
No, I'm not dealing with that now. That's really
Australia have
rude.
scored, and this is the keep going.
Jamie McLaren, the goal scorer. I've been obliged to inform you that the Socceroos have scored, and Jamie McLaren
Not a Green
was
Gully
the scorer.
related thing at all.
So first of all,
For some reason, that
apologies.
played in Alvin and the Chipmunks mode. But
I don't
anyway,
know what happened, but it just like the octane just rose. So Lockie sounds like a 10-year-old. It actually sounds like his voicemail, like his answering machine. When
Yes.
because it's him. I think he recorded it when he would have been in high school.
Yeah.
and it's still the same. Oh, it's a
Well,
shocker.
it's actually better than Athos's. That goes,
See what we
"Hi, my name is Athos." Yeah, and then he just. And I've told him so many times, you've got to change that because
Change it.
You're not in year 12 anymore. 'Cause he's had that since first year of uni.
We should probably also provide some context on the audio bed we played earlier. If people aren't aware,
That is-
Sunderland
yeah.
Till I Die, it's been about a year since everybody went crazy
Yeah.
over that show in lockdown, and the cult of Charlie Methven was born. So that's my ode to Charlie Methven.
We love Charlie here.
Segment idea, Nick,
Yeah.
is we can start with just the FNR universe, but without warning them, we say, we're going to call your number. You can't pick it up. You have to let your voicemail play, and we're going to play it on air. The worst one cops an L.
Well, if anyone wants to, let us know in the Twitch.
If you'd like to
and we
volunteer
can,
your voicemail,
we can, I guess.
who should
have
we
this
start?
chat.
Who should we
I
start
reckon
with?
Mooks. Mooks would definitely have.
Mooks.
I reckon Mooks still has the same voicemail from when he was 13.
Send an I volunteer as tribute in the chat if you volunteer as tribute.
You don't have to answer your phone. You just need to
No,
play
exactly.
your answering machine.
You've already appeared on air, which is great. We were so grateful for that. That was a good time. Also, if anyone does want to call in and have a chat with us, just like they did on Tuesday with Athos, 99449999, 03 if you're outside Victoria.
Or 6-1 if you're outside Australia.
His spirit lives on. His
It
spirit
does.
lives on at the
It will never
station,
die.
Now we have Sardine saying, I was meaning to ask if Sunderland Till I Die was worth watching. 100%. Even
Oh,
just the second season. The
it's
second
amazing.
season is... The first season is like really sad.
Yeah, it is
because they
sad.
just... You obviously know Sunderland were in the championship at that point and they got...
And they were
absolutely
like,
spanked.
no, like we want to go back to the Premier League.
And they got smashed. They went through Simon Grayson, those first two episodes. Chris Coleman was like supposed to be the saviour. And he was taking photos with grannies, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's such a handsome man. I think he's going to save us."
Oh, it's lovely.
I love Chris Coleman. I think he's going to save us. And then at the end of the day, they got relegated.
And he got
Do you remember
sacked.
that
But he
game
was
against
good.
Burton at the Stadium of Light where they lost? Like they conceded 2 goals in
Yeah.
the 90th minute to get relegated, and it was just complete and utter heartbreak.
I mean,
The
it
sec-
is kind of like watching a car crash in slow motion.
Yeah. And the second season is even better because it is just drama filled because the new owners, so Charlie Methven and Donald, I forgot his last name, Donald
Glover.
Donald Glover. Yeah, Childish Gambino is the new owner of Sunderland. They take over the club and it's them in League One trying to get promoted. And there's just some crazy stuff that happens, especially in the middle part when it's around their league trophy. Is it called the league trophy? what's the cup? The Johnston's Paint or whatever
John
it is.
Yeah.
Paints Trophy.
Yeah, it's like the League One, League Two Cup.
They're in the final of that, and also the January transfer window is just unbelievable viewing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Josh Madger.
Josh Madger and the Will Grigg saga is
How's
just
Josh,
worth it.
oh, Josh Madger's at Fulham now, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is, and he's playing all right.
He's
So
doing
that kind of
fine.
spoils it to a
Yeah.
certain degree. But
Josh Madger
Sorry.
and well, I guess if you know your football, you know Josh Madger is not at Sunderland anymore.
If you know your
And
football.
it was funny because the other day, Wigan actually beat Sunderland in League One, and one of the guys that actually they follow, Luke 09, said in a press conference before the game, I think we're going to make easy doing of Wigan. And I thought, oh, Luke 09, come on, mate. I know you from the doco. I know you're not like this. And then he got absolutely roasted on Twitter.
So, Nick, going back to our voicemail discussion,
Yeah.
we have had a volunteer, and it is our lovely Mooks. Now,
Yep.
we're logged into Josh's Facebook on that computer. I've sent you Mooks' number, so we'll fill for a little bit while you
Yep.
figure out how to.
I can do it.
You can do it. You can pop that into the thing. Let us know when you're ready. Josh, we want to get to some football admin really quick.
yeah, let's do a little bit of that.
What have we got on the table coming up this weekend?
I'm going to have this ready in a second, guys.
Do you want some A-League or some MPL?
Let's get to that in a second,
Well, maybe
guys.
let's preview what we're doing on the weekend.
Oh, very
Well-
nice. Well, there's a certain game.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Oh,
Sorry,
this-
Josh.
All right,
Who cares,
it's
Josh?
over.
Who cares, Josh?
Okay, so Mooks, don't pick up, mate, but this is to see if your voicemail is a big L or not. 2. This isn't. Do you have any tense music?
He's just going to answer the phone, isn't he?
Do you have
It is.
tense music?
No, let's just leave it.
The person you are calling
Oh,
is not
Oh,
available.
boo.
Please leave a short
I mean, that's
message.
an L.
I
and
think
it will be
let's
sent
leave a
as an
voicemail.
audio message.
Mooks, you dummy.
Mooks, get a new voicemail.
You're a big dum-dum.
Mooks, you are a dummy.
Aussie Hez is saying he thinks his voicemail is just Harry.
So that was Mooks' voicemail. So that's
Yeah.
an L. So that's the first L.
Aussie
We'll
Hez
knock
doing
that one down.
his best
We have
Hagrid impression.
We've actually been corrected. It's a bit aggressive actually as well. Teresa Polai's teachers at a public school. I'm actually not going to mention the names. It's not kindergarten.
It's kind
Get
of,
that
kind of a
right, guys.
doxing in the chat a little bit.
I'm just gonna stand to the left of Nick because you said kindergarten, man.
I said she has a kindergarten teacher vibe. I didn't know she was a teacher.
We didn't know that she was
So
I mean,
I
is
was
it-
uninformed. I said she had a kindergarten
really
teacher
on
vibe.
us?
Nick said she is a teacher. So I don't think we've actually got that wrong.
Yeah, you young as much. We love your contributions in the Twitch. Is it really on us to know all the personal details of
Teresa
every,
Polai?
every player?
Actually,
look,
there
sorry.
actually are a few W League players who are teachers.
Yeah.
Liz Ralston is a teacher.
I mean,
believe.
look, I knew she was a teacher. I don't think it's my business to know where she teaches.
Yeah, thanks.
No.
yeah,
Anyways, but
Thanks anyway.
thanks for that. All
right.
We'll keep that one stored for next time.
A-League coming up this Friday, tonight in
It's a
fact.
bit of a big game, actually. For
Western
the finals
Sydney,
race.
Brisbane, and you know what's interesting about this game is for the second time in the space of 2 seasons, Scott McDonald has gone walkabout.
Where's he up to?
Do you remember
nobody
when the start of
knows.
COVID, when he did that Instagram live where he was like walking through Brisbane talking
He's
about
like, yeah,
COVID?
the virus starts tomorrow. Yeah, that's a legend. But he's not turned up for training.
So his
whereabouts are currently unknown, and
I reckon he's gone to Rockhampton to hang out with Mooks.
He's not been
wouldn't
included in the squad for Brisbane, even though he is fit. And look, to be honest, if Golgo Mubratu was playing ahead of me, I would be quite angry if I was Scott McDonald. But this is a growing pattern of behaviour, and it's the second manager he's potentially fallen out with already. So is he
from
going to be
Roots to Warren
agitating
Moon.
for another move to a different
Wow.
A-League club already, from Western United to Brisbane to God knows where?
I mean, Melbourne City do need a striker if Jamie McLaren gets called up for finals. Like for the Socceroos, and he was missing finals, so I should maybe word that a bit more. But
Remember when MacArthur first came in and they only had, if you go on their Wikipedia page, they only had 2 players. Like, I think it was
Yeah.
Tommy Orr.
yeah, and I think it was Tommy Orr and Mark Milligan or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, Sardine will be
maybe-
able to tell us.
Maybe he could do the same thing, but with the new Manchester United franchise and just be the first player in the North Shore Red Devils, just on the Wikipedia
Please
page.
not. I mean, look, he has a tie to Southeast Melbourne because he's a Southeast Melbourne boy, and he
Team
was
11,
part
you're
of that
saying?
Team 11. I mean, Melbourne City have started their sort of a journey into Southeast Melbourne. I mean, it kind of kind of could be something. Maybe not for this season, maybe for next season. Because if Jay McLaren does get, say, I don't want to say he's leaving, and I don't think he's going anywhere. But if say a move did come back and he could potentially go back to Europe, they're without many striker options. Marco Tilio is still quite young. Moody Najar's out on loan. He hasn't really impressed at MacArthur in the limited amount of games he's played.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is an opening potentially, even just as a backup for Jamie McLaren. That is pretty threatening.
And you work at the Herald Sun full-time, so you can't jump in
Not
just as a
full-time.
Jamie McLaren impersoner.
Not full-time, mate. Not full-time.
Partially.
No.
Okay.
Freelancing.
Well,
freelancing.
Contracts.
Who's your... freelancing's interesting, though, isn't it? Because you can work for
anyone.
Anytime you want. And
Yeah.
obviously there's 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But as a freelancer, do you have a time frame that you prefer doing work in?
Not really. Work's work.
Work's bloody work, man.
I start work technically in about 30 minutes, so I've got to go soon, guys. But anyways, if Scott McDonald wants to go to Melbourne City, I won't be against it. There's another Melbourne team that needs a striker as well, which are lacking goals. I don't know what's going to go on with Rudy just said. Maybe the Victory might come calling. Who knows?
I could see him at the Victory. I don't know whether that's a place he'd want to go at this point. I don't know whether anyone wants to join Melbourne Victory currently.
I mean, maybe there'd be someone out there. I'm
But
sure that,
he might throw a little bit of
Lesionis might want to come back.
Yeah, do it.
He might throw a little bit of a spanner in the works. I mean, Victory are having players depart the club like a sinking ship. Dalibor Markovic poached by Western United.
That was so
That
just
was
out of nowhere.
Bit
Like
of a baller move by Western just to post
I mean,
that
they
on
probably
Twitter.
saw him play against Victory or against Western United about a month or so ago when they played them. And was like, that's it.
He's
Rude just like, get
his agent on.
Let's get him, sign him up. I mean, they do need another left back. I mean, Connor Payne isn't really a left back. He's a left wing back, but Dalibor Markovic, I think, would actually suit the system quite well as a left wing back. I think he's a lot better going forward. And Ivan Vujic has been playing almost as a left-sided centre back this season.
Yep.
So they probably are in need of someone else coming in, and I'm all for it. I think he's going to play, and he's going to be the backup to Adama Traore Victory. He's not going to get minutes. He might get more at
It could free up
Western
Connor
United.
Payne.
Free up the Payne train.
Yeah.
So what you're
Unleash him
saying
off
is
the tracks.
So you're basically playing 4D chess right now, saying that they could have a train just ready to break away, the breakaway train.
Yeah, the breakaway train that does not require any tracks or anything.
In terms of the game tonight, just quickly, this is big because Brisbane at the moment, I believe, have 3 games in hand on Western Sydney, and they're 5 points behind them. So if they win, I mean, Western Sydney are looking a little bit in a bit of a precarious position that they could drop out of the top 6. So good chance for Brisbane Roar to get their second straight win and get back to some form they had earlier in the season.
Well, I called out Western Sydney as frauds quite some time ago, and it's taken a little while for me to be proved right, but I'm happy to be. I'm sure we'll get another text from Regards Paul on the SMS line. 0428933345. His last
or Loch Ness.
His last contribution on the text line. Hi guys, Chris Beath and Chris Griffiths-Jones need to be sacked for the disgraceful award of a penalty to the Mariners, a.k.a. Sea Bogans.
Well, Aussie has
My
actually
God.
said that he'll be at the game tonight. He's down
nice.
at Bakewell
lovely.
Stadium.
Very
And
good.
Loch Ness said 7 draws, Western Sydney need a win. Well, yeah, they actually tend to draw almost every week. 6 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses. I'm going Brisbane Roar to win this game, guys.
I don't know, actually.
I'm backing in the Roar, mate.
Look, I think they've been pretty ordinary without McDonald, and this kind of dressing room falling out seems to signal a bit of instability behind the scenes. So I reckon I'm going for another draw.
Ed?
I have a lot of faith in Brisbane, and I'm still
Yeah, you still picked them to win the league.
Yeah, they're still going to win the league, man. I actually forgot about that prediction.
It sounded really good in the first 3 or 4
And
weeks.
the Jets not winning a game.
Well, they've only won 3 games now.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's just
They
forgotten
haven't
about that.
won in like 7 or 8 games.
We've got
now.
some very, very upset Malaysian football fans in our mentions about Liridon Krasniqi
not playing. I mean, he's...
Our friend Marco Nageri has turned on Craig Deans. boring coach.
I mean, Rami
Token
Nazarene-
substitute minutes. He's not happy with Krasniqi's...
Rabi Nazarine's pretty good.
Yeah, but Krasniqi doesn't have to play at the 10. Play him as a languid holding midfield player.
Do they want to have any defensive cover for their lackluster defence?
I'm not saying there aren't reasons why he's not playing.
Anyways, moving on. You guys are heading down to Tassie tomorrow.
Yeah,
some
exciting.
exciting new project.
Yeah.
And you're going to be heading down to watch this game, Western United versus the Mariners. And the Mariners, top of the league. I mean, this is the first time down in Launceston that there's been an A-League game in quite some time, I believe. I believe that there was maybe a preseason game or 2 down there, maybe 1 or 2 A-League games in history.
North Melbourne versus Hawthorn kick around.
Yeah, there's a lot of... You're basically stamping on Hawthorn's territory, but...
Which we love doing,
yeah,
by the way.
I mean, Jeff Kennett won't be too happy, but West United versus the Mariners. This is actually, I think, an I think it's going to be a fun game. It was
Very
a 3-2, arguably the game of the year when they played each other last time, where Alu Kuol came on and just went crazy and won them the game in Gosford.
Yeah.
It was the most unbelievable 20 minutes of football I've seen this year. I think for me, actually, I'm going Western United to bounce back and win this game.
Wow.
They have a tendency to win one and lose one. I can't see them losing again after a disappointing loss against Wellington last Sunday.
Well, it's a bit of a it's not a traditional must-win game in a way, but Western United, it feels like every week is a must-win game because they're so inconsistent. And we think they're a better team than they actually are, but they're down in 8th. Obviously, games in hand matters. We know the fake table exists. Thank you, Mark Rudin. We are actually living in an illusion.
Well, they have played 3 less games than Western Sydney as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is a bit of a fake table.
But then Central Coast, it's probably the first time this season where we're saying, they need a win. They've only won 1 in their last 5. So, must win for both teams.
It's a big game in Launceston. It's going to be very cold.
Yep.
Lovely. I don't mind the cold.
It's going to be chilly, but the stakes are heating up.
Do the steaks get hot?
Yeah,
they do when they hit the
medium
frying
rare.
pan.
Medium rare.
You bring it up to a nice internal temperature of about... I can't actually remember what internal temperature.
I mean, it depends if you're going for... Are you a
No,
guy who eats your steak blue?
Oh,
Or do you
no.
eat yours medium rare?
A funny story, actually. I went out for a dinner with some family a few weeks ago, and my dad was like, how do you want your steak? And I was like, medium rare. And he's like, have you tried a bit more rare this time? I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So I said to the waiter, I was like, medium to rare, but quite rare.
Oh, no.
But all she heard was quite rare.
Oh, no.
So I got my steak.
So it was still alive, it was still mooing.
Yeah, it was blue. Like you said, I couldn't handle. And you know when meat is just,
What's
you just
that?
can't chew through it?
Japanese dish where they only sear the outside, but it's quite rare on the inside, like the beef.
Wait.
But you eat it like cold.
Oh.
I forgot what it's called. I've had it a few times.
It's not salmon, is it?
Anyone in the Twitch chat know what I'm talking about, please let us know.
If Tomoki Amai was here, he could help us out.
He'd be able to help us out. He loves a good ramen as well. I'm actually still want to try out that ramen place you guys went to.
Sardine, he's not a butcher, but we know Lockie.
Loch Ness, yeah.
Loch Ness he's a butcher.
Yeah, butcher.
And Sardine says 63 is nice. And Lockie says blue. The meat is called blue. We're not asking for what was your favourite TV show as a kid and only use the first word. This is not Blue's Clues. Sardine saying carpaccio.
Oh, yes, carpaccio. That's the one.
It's not Japanese.
Yeah, they have it at a lot of Japanese restaurants,
Okay.
actually, carpaccio, yeah.
It's a very Japanese name.
It's not a Japanese name at all, but you have it at a lot of Japanese restaurants. Carpaccio.
Loch Ness has also suggested that a Tasmanian A-League team should be called the Hobart Orthrus.
The two-headed dog in Greek mythology, FC.
Wow. Get it? Get it? Because Tasmanians. Very good.
Wow, that's
very
good.
good.
That's a little bit mean. Moving on, guys. Melbourne Derby tomorrow night. This is like the least hyped Melbourne Derby in quite some time. Down at Amy Park. I'm actually excited because it's at Amy Park. Because when it was at Marvel, I mean, it was a 6-0 smashing, but it just felt very cavernous. Hopefully this time we get a decent turnout.
Nice, cozy media box for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Must be
I'll be
nice.
down there. If you want to wave and say hello to me in the media box, I'll give you a salute.
He will acknowledge your presence. He
Lockie
won't actually
didn't
speak
wave
to you.
last time I saw him when he was outside the box. Instead, he gave me he gave me just a straight,
Goal.
Goal.
And that wasn't when anyone scored. That
No,
was
just
at full
after the
time.
game. Just looked at me dead in the eye and just went. Just pure great gas. Let's quickly run through it just to get some predictions for these guys' games.
I mean,
I'm going Melbourne City to win.
It's not a question of the result, it's a question of how many. I'm going 4-goal margin this time. I think it's going to be 6 again.
I'm going...
Just a humble 4-0.
I reckon that
humble
Melbourne
4-0.
victory only lose this game 3-1. I reckon Leighton Brooks to start, and I'm actually excited to see Leighton Brooks get a bit of a crack because I think he was really good against the Jets.
1 week he's scoring in NPL 3.
The next week, he's scoring in winners against the Jets. You never have to cook again.
He's gone from one high standard to much lower standard against Newcastle.
You're saying City as well, Ed?
I think it'll be not a close game, but victory will score. So I think it'll be 2-1.
I actually would like a 2-1. I want a tight game because the feeling always after a victory game is really sad. Like, especially when you're covering it and they lose again, you're like...
And I have to talk to Brebs.
And Brebs is... You feel sorry for Brebs. Like, actually, after the big blue, Brebs was actually kind of laughing. He's like, what can I do, man? Like, Elvis got sent off, What can I do? I can't control him.
And he's not going to get sacked, so he just has to continue to be
I mean,
upset.
Anthony DiPietro said at the victory lunch last week, he's like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we're back. So everyone watch your backs, we're coming. It's like, okay.
What?
All right. Anyways. Yeah.
The arrogance of the victory board knows
Anyways,
no
How was
bounds.
Cameron Smith?
He was really good, actually.
Yeah?
That was probably the best interview. He was really good talent.
He's a
and-
really good. I like his.
Yeah, had a lot of positive
whiskey
things to
or his
say
rum.
about the victory as well,
Mm.
and about Billy Slater as well.
Has victory offered him a contract yet?
Surprisingly not. Anyway, I actually reckon he'd be good to come in he wants to do more leadership stuff. And I reckon having a guy like Cameron Smith around, actually at the club, taking on a role like that
Public
would
speaking.
not be just as like a sort of a person who can help the leaders and the younger players in terms of leadership. That stuff is intangible sort of things for any club. You don't actually have to play football.
He's not going to displace the number one leadership mental agility coach in A-League circles, though.
No, of course not. Not
Bradley
the
C.
C.
Stubbs
Stubbs of
expect to win, done.
expected goals.
Imagine
Anyways,
Melbourne Victory just paying for like 25 cameo appearances from Cameron Smith and just playing them before each game.
but blame to the crowd as well. Let's quickly run through the triple header on Sunday. Sydney versus Adelaide. This is a real tasty game. Probably the game of the weekend in terms of where they are on the table. Adelaide won again. The Cat was man of the match, or feline of the match, or animal of the match, with his incredible cameo on Wednesday night.
How did he...
He just probably snuck through the...
No, but how did he... Because I saw the video that A-League Memes posted with the Nyan Cat. But how did he get off?
I think he just climbed off.
He climbed into the away bay.
I felt sorry
which
for the Cat.
only had one. It only had one person in it. The away bay. So
was it Sardine?
Maybe. So the security managed to gather. This isn't the first time that a cat has interrupted a football match. Do you remember Anfield Cat?
Yeah, Anfield Cat. I remember
That had
that
its
one
own
as well.
Twitter
He was my
account.
favourite cat. He sat. Didn't he sit? at
Yeah,
some point?
just sat at the end. He just had so much like guts. Like he was just
Yeah.
like, I'm going to soak
Gusto.
this up.
He had a lot of
Gusto.
gusto.
This cat, on the other hand,
I mean,
was
he
very
probably
skittish.
didn't have, if it was a male cat, it probably didn't, I was going to say a lot of balls, but we know what happens with male pets, that they have to.
Well,
Please spay and neuter your
yeah.
pets.
Are Adelaide United neutering their cat?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Anyways, I think Adelaide United are actually going to win this game.
He has no time for
I don't have
it.
time for this. I've got to go soon,
Why are
man.
you're acting so disgusted by the idea of brought it up, but you're the one who brought it up.
Anyways.
This bus is heavy. You've just got...
All right, give me Adelaide United in this game. I like
Adelaide,
what they're doing.
I want Adelaide to win this as well.
MacArthur, Newcastle.
MacArthur.
Yeah, I think so. I think
can't say
MacArthur
sorry
at
for
home.
the Jets, but MacArthur win this one. And Perth, Wellington. I'm going Wellington, the distance derby.
Yeah, okay. I like
tasty.
it. Very
Yummy,
tasty.
yummy.
I mean, Wellington, they really showed some...
Chef good.
I don't know what the Kiwi for cojones is, but they showed it.
Just cojones.
For Ben Wayne, scoring the winner.
Cojones.
Ben Wayne.
Ben Wayne.
I do like a bit of Ben
Hudson
Wayne.
Witungi. That's Bunny cojones.
The Dustin Derby. The Dustin Martin Derby.
You know what?
I'm missing Jason Pine's commentary.
Well,
this
if they
season.
get those couple games back, if the bubble reopens, those couple last few games at the Caketon, I hope that can happen, because I do miss Jason Pine.
Yeah.
I was in a presser after the victory game on Zoom, and Jason Pine was there, and I was just like, you know that meme of like that, and there's like a face like in the clouds, and just like this, like Jason Pine. Like hearing Jason Pine and Philip Rollo and all the Kiwis, I just sat there and was just like, this is great. I've missed you guys.
Well, we got to sign off, Nick. But if you check today's folder, I've put a little gem in there to finish
I've
us
got a little
off.
jam to play quickly, because we're going to talk about being
No, you can't. Are you doing?
You can't play that.
Yes.
It's still high pitched.
Why is that happening?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I like how it's not too high pitched. You really have to-
Before the Wiggles sue us, if you check today's folder, Nick, there's a little bit of
Something else.
a little bit of last week's commentary to see you into the weekend.
Before we get to that, guys, what are you guys actually looking forward to this weekend? You're going to Tassie?
I'm looking forward to sitting down on the plane and reading a book.
You're boring.
It'll be a nice hour of alone time for me.
Josh?
I'm just looking forward to hanging out
With friends.
with Lockie.
That's just
all right.
really annoying, Lockie.
Oh, Tasmania friends.
You guys all going to Tassie? What am I doing? Well, I am going to the derby. to
Lovely.
work.
Lovely.
Other than
So
that,
what day is that on? Saturday?
it's tomorrow night. Yeah.
You calling your game tonight, Ed? No?
No.
I am.
You are?
Danny
What?
City.
Is that the only game you're doing? That's right, you're going to Tassie.
Yeah, I'm going to Tassie,
Aussie
mate.
has saying keep talking so Nick can't leave. Yeah.
I think we've got to sign
I've got to
off
go
there.
to work, man.
He's got the
We can't
controls.
keep him behind the panel forever.
Anyways, guys.
Let's finish off Friday with a Barishevic bomb.
Love you, Twitch gang.
Kandari up for the free header. Barishevic contested.
Comes out with the ball. Berishevic to strike! Oh, what a goal!
Get out of here!
That is outrageous!
No!
Karl Berishevic
Get around him!
writes his name in Preston folklore!
Just with the left boot, he's looked up. Siciliano is off his line. Bang! 1-0 Preston.
Look at what that means.
The left back with an absolute bomb. Good Lord. Off the crossbar! And it doesn't go in! Up like a salmon, a spawning salmon.
Oh, 30-1. I don't see you or Robbie on it.
You love rainbows and ponds and things like that. The morning mist. It's what it sounds like, Speedy.
You're listening to Breakfast on FNR, Football Nation Radio.